Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions. And yes, it is another new comic book day video, but I didn't have a chance to film before I went to my LCS. And as usual, I went down to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland for my new comic books I was picking up. So as you guys know, I use New Comic Book Day as a way to pick up the books that I failed to pre-order 2 to 3 months ago. Usually it's just a handful of books each week, alternate covers, variants, maybe some ratios on occasion. Extra copies if I want to get extra copies of a book for some reason. Books for signings, timely, getting them in there in time so I have them for a signing or something. Well, unfortunately, back in September when I was doing the pre-order for the month, I completely slept on it. I completely forgot to put in my pre-order list. So most of the books, starting pretty much with this week and probably for the next several New Comic Book Day weeks, are going to be books that normally I would have already pre-ordered, but now this pickup from Third Eye Comics or my New Comic Book Day runs are going to be a lot more. So we got new books I'm going to show you here that I picked up this week, as well as there was a special guest signing at Third Eye Comics, and that is Jim Rugg. And you guys might know him from YouTube. He did Hulk Grand Design. There was definitely some Marvel stuff, independent stuff, his relationship with Ed Piscar, and definitely a really great independent comic book creator, as well as having this great comic book channel that on YouTube as well. And I will give you links to that channel, although I don't think he has posted on there since the death of Ed. So anyway, he was signing down there tonight. And so I ended up getting several things signed, but we'll get into that. But first, what I want you to do is sit back, enjoy a little bit of the video from the show, and there's definitely some video of me talking with Jim as well. So sit back, enjoy some of that footage, and then I'll come back and I'll do the show and tell, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the story talking to Jim.
Cover crossovers that like everybody's doing, and yeah, it certainly seems like the interest is there, you know.
Yeah, it seems like it's cool now. Like back in the 90s, I remember like it sold a lot, but there was a certain population in the comic industry. Like if you like young blood, you were kind of like a nerd. How are you?
You know what? I used to get that from stores. Like I bought all that stuff whenever it came out.
Yeah.
And I had store owners that are like, "Oh, these books are so good." It's
yeah,
like, dude, I'm trying to give you money.
That seems to have gone away. Like it's found its place now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Jim, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. Got a couple. I want to get a couple of those, if you don't mind.
No, that's what I'm here for. You could buy all of them, and I'd be okay with
Yeah,
that.
I bet. I got to see you down at Heroes Con earlier this year.
Is this your local store?
This is my local store. One of them. There's so many around here, actually.
Yeah, I was telling somebody, man, you guys are spoiled because this is quite a store.
Have you ever been? I know you were up in Baltimore for the con this year, right?
Yeah. Careful with it takes them a minute.
I'll let those try. And I've got some trading cards if you don't mind too.
Sure.
Yeah, Mark, who runs that from Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. I don't know if you've ever been up to his store, but
I have not.
Talk about the back issues. I mean,
yeah?
it's a very different vibe. You got tons of back issues.
Yeah, I'm terrible at these shows because I come in, you do the show, and it's like, oh, I was in Baltimore, but I didn't actually see anything but the inside of the convention.
You didn't get to see anything, yeah.
Yeah, I need to schedule, come in early.
Because you've been there multiple times, so yeah, you got to spend a little time down there. I mean,
yeah, I've known Mark forever, it's kind of terrible on my part that I haven't made it.
If you don't mind, I know you were doing a little sketch before. I don't know if you wouldn't mind doing something there. And sure. I love these cards because you can sign down there and have a little place for a sketch.
Do you have a request?
Do the Hulk.
Okay. That's what I was going to do anyway. You read my mind.
Well, you signed all of my all of the books you'd done, the Grand Design books and everything down in Heroes Con. So, yeah, they couldn't ask for better weather this year for the con. It was really fantastic.
Later, have a good night.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Jerry.
You too, bud. Maybe next time you're in town, you can come see the museum we got going.
Yes.
Straight down the street. You're going to be tired after all this. After dealing with all of us nerds.
Well, I was going to mention to you, I tell you, going back to the old the YouTube show, I think one of my favorite episodes where you and Ed were talking about John Byrne's artwork from one of the artist editions.
Oh,
And going through
X-Men.
yeah, it was a lot of fun listening to you guys talk about the way Byrne was drawing back then on the books and dissecting the pages and everything.
Yeah. He's, you know, whenever I started getting into comics, like, he was one of my favorite guys for a long time. Like, he's an amazing artist. It's interesting, too, because, you know, guys, they change over time, you know, style-wise and everything. And so, like, depending on when you first get in is, I think, often, like, your favorite of, you know, that art. Or whenever you find, you know, first see an artist that you respond to. And then, who knows, you know, like a different time period, it might not be the same, you know, might not be your cup of tea. But, yeah, Byrne, I mean, he was so good for so long.
Well,
Everybody has a different favorite.
It's going to be interesting to see the. I guess he's going to release his fanfic,
Yes.
and that's going to be. I mean, and I've gone through his website. I've read a lot of those. It's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We, funny story, you know, we had really good luck in terms of recording and not losing recordings and stuff.
Yeah.
The only recording I remember us losing was the John Byrne X-Men, the fan fiction, because somebody had made books of those and sent them to us. And, we went through and recorded it, and I went home to edit it, and for some reason it didn't record.
Oh, man.
Turned around, went back, we recorded it again.
Oh,
So we
nice.
have an episode. But it's like the only one that we did that didn't work, at least not the first time.
Well, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure.
I've had a lot of artists over the years do that, but you are the one who's maximizing the entire area. That's so awesome.
Well, give that one a second too, because that's very glossy. So
I'll leave that on there
may,
too.
Maybe wet for a minute.
unbearable hours later.
All right, guys, so as you saw in the video, and I hope you enjoyed that, I got to see and talk with Jim just a little bit. I did not expect to actually get through that line. I did not expect to get down there in time to get in line. So normally I would have been part of that Wednesday Warrior Elite Club that would have put in to be part of that VIP line. Well, be quite honest, I never put my name on the list to be on that VIP list because I didn't expect to be there. It's a work day for me, but we got out early, and so I was able to go down. Unfortunately, it's too late to get into the VIP line, but I was in the general public line. And to be quite honest, it's already getting dark at that time. It was a 7 o'clock signing. It was pitch black out there. And there was only 2 or 3 people in the general public line. There was maybe 15 to 20 in the VIP line. So I knew I didn't have long to wait. So not a big deal. And to be quite honest, I didn't have anything on me to sign, or at least I didn't have any comic books. Well, Jim was there at Third Eye for the release of Third Eye Comics' exclusive cover of the new Youngblood #1, Rob Liefeld's Youngblood #1, coming out. It was their exclusive cover that Jim Rugg did. It was a homage to Absolute Batman #1, but there was a problem. And if you saw in the video, you probably saw his table there, and he had plenty of copies there at Third Eye. But here was the deal. Third Eye couldn't let you take the copy home. You could buy it, and it wasn't exclusive. It was a $20 exclusive, but you could not take it home. What happened was Youngblood was supposed to come out this particular week. No big deal. In fact, there would have been all the other variant covers coming out as well. But for whatever reason, Image pushed back the release date by a week. So everybody had to leave their copies there at Third Eye, and we're going to have to pick them up the following week. So I'll show you a picture of their exclusive. I'll put it right up here, but I don't have the actual copies on me. It's still at Third Eye Comics. I will pick them up during my next New Comic Book Day when I get down there. So I definitely picked up a couple of copies of those. They were beautifully signed. I hope Third Eye put those into my box instead of just having a giant box of books that they were handing out to people and holding on to people. I specifically, as I was standing at the table, took a look at a couple copies to make sure that they were definite 9/8 candidates, just in case I want to get them graded for any reason. I want to make sure I've got the great copy, especially if you're paying $20 a pop. So I made sure that, and I asked them, hey, can you put this back in my box instead of just keeping it there at the counter and getting them handled when everybody comes in to get their copies next week. So hopefully they're still in really good shape. We'll see about that. But I did get some other things signed, and not just signed, but I did something else there too. So as you guys know, one of my other great passions, not just in the comic book hobby, but in the sports card industry, is autographs. And one of the things that I created, in fact, this is our 20th year doing this, me and my partner, is the company called theautographcard.com. This is a company that we created because we are collecting, starting with mostly baseball autographs in person. And I'm not going to go into the whole story now, but we created a company creating generic trading cards that you could take to any sporting event. And eventually we expanded to a lot of non-sports types of things too. We have a whole line of cards, generic, that you can take anywhere. It's got a picture of a baseball on there, and I'll show you a picture of the baseball and the football and a couple of the cards up here. They're generic, so you can go to spring training or a minor league game or a major league game, wherever, and you don't have to worry about having that particular player's card, but you can have a really cool collectible if somebody is signing and you don't happen to have everything. It's a lot better than having to pull a napkin off the table or a scrap of paper or a used business card or something like that. Well, 2 of the cards that we created for the company were, for me specifically, because of my comic book love, is comic book greats and a sketch card. We call it the artist card. And so what I did was I took a couple of those to get signed by Jim, and I'll show you what I've got. Take a look at the card right there. Comic book greats. And I'm sorry, this probably is not focusing. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put a picture up here a little bit larger so you can see these, but I got a couple of those cards signed. And what's cool about these cards is on the back is a place for you to eventually put their name, where you got them signed, or what they're notable for. and a date to when you actually got the autograph. And so I'll eventually put Jim's name on the back so I won't forget, although that's a very easy autograph to recognize. But I still want to have the date when I got it signed. But the one that was really cool was the sketch card. And because there was somebody I know was getting a sketch done, about 3 people in front of me, I was wondering why the line was taking so long. And I'm going, well, if he's doing a sketch, then I'm asking for a sketch too. So I took the artist card and we got this right here, the sketch card. And he says, what character do you want? And I said, well, it's got to be the Hulk. And he said, good, because if you didn't say, it was going to be the Hulk. And he used the whole card. And what's great about these cards is there's a spot down at the bottom for a signature, and the whole top. I've never seen anybody use the whole area as much as he did. And I'll put a bigger picture up here so you guys can see it. But it's pretty cool. I don't use these as much these days because of artists signing. When you go to a con, everybody's charging a lot of money these days, so I don't get my cards done quite as much as I used to. They're still handy. I still actually like sending them in the mail occasionally. I've gotten back sketches over the years from people like Walt Simonson, John Romita Sr. I mean, it's pretty cool. Eric Larson, some of the people I've sent to and gotten sketches and autographs back from. It's been actually very cool. But that was everything I got signed by Jim. And of course, in the video, you saw all the new comic books that were out this week. And I did have a couple things that were already on my pull box, which included Amazing Spider-Man 15. It's a pretty intriguing cover right there. Has a little bit of that black suit Spider-Man vibe to it, doesn't it, with Venom. And then we got Absolute Superman number 13. Both of these are pull books anyway. But as I said, I didn't put my pre-orders in, so I already had these, would have already been on my pre-order list anyway. Since I didn't pre-order them, they're at Third Eye, all good on those two. But Night Fight had come out. This is part of that DC KO. This is an independent story. I think Batman got killed in the first DC KO book, so he's out of the tournament. But this is an independent story at this point. Joshua Williamson is writing it, and you've got Dan Moore doing the art. And I will tell you this, the artwork in here is absolutely balls to the walls, fantastic. I'm not so sure about the story and the sentiment behind it and everything, but the art is fantastic. So on that alone, I would recommend it. Also out this week was Batman number 3, continuing with the Matt Fraction run right here. And this is continuing to be very popular right now, although I haven't read it yet, but I was reading some reviews or listening to some reviews on YouTube talking about they're definitely pushing the whole gay Robin thing again, bringing Tim Drake's boyfriend into it. I'll be honest, I am over the whole effing thing with Tim Drake being gay. It's just a bastardization of that character. Tim Drake, to me, was always one of the best Robins out there and probably had some of the best potential to take over for Batman at some point. And just the bastardization of the character has been awful. And to be quite honest, seeing that stuff pushed in this book continues to rub me the wrong way. And I may end up dropping the book. Maybe not just because of that, but it doesn't sit well. So yeah, there's my anti-woke messaging, I guess. Also this week was Planet She-Hulk number 1. Nothing I was really too excited about, to be quite honest. But I did pick up the regular cover. But I was excited about this, the Jenny Frison cover of She-Hulk. That is spectacular right there. And Jenny Frison is going to be the keynote artist of Heroes Con next year. And so I will definitely, after getting a ton of books signed by her last year, I'm working on probably a short pile of books for next year. It definitely won't be quite as many. We'll see. You never know. She does put out a lot of covers, that's for sure. Also out, not on my pre-order list, was the new Alien vs. Captain America. To be quite honest, I'm looking to drop titles, try to cut back as much as I can, and I was going to drop this. And I'm going, no, go ahead and pick it up, at least the number 1. And I find it fascinating that they're taking a setting of this back in World War II or post-World War II. And that part right there intrigues me. So definitely I read through it, or at least I thumb through the pages. It looks pretty cool. So I'm going to have to give that a read. Also, normal book for me for pre-order is Avengers 32, even though I have not enjoyed any of this current run on Avengers out of habit. And as a lifelong Avengers fan, I continue to get this book, and that's basically it. Now, this would have been on my pre-order list, but I forgot. G.I. Joe number 13, and this has been probably, Joshua Williamson's also doing this book. This has probably been my third most favorite book that comes out each and every month, right behind Usagi Yojimbo and Jim Zub's Conan the Barbarian. This is my number 3 book. I've enjoyed this so much since it's come out. And then lastly, Planet Death number 2, and the artwork in this is second to none. Now, this is some fantastic artwork. I'm not even sure who does the artwork, to be honest with you, but Robert Venditti, who helps write this book, was at Third Eye, and hopefully you guys got a chance to see the video. I'm not sure how long ago it was at this point, probably a couple months ago, when he came to Third Eye for a signing and for Planet Death number 1. God, has it been a couple months? It feels like a couple months. Maybe it was only a month ago. I don't know. But again, the artwork, honestly, I'd pick this up for the artwork, and with it being a Bad Idea book, Bad Idea, honestly, to me, was nothing more than a vehicle to get ideas out there for possible Hollywood production. I mean, this has Hollywood movie, big blockbuster type of movie, just absolutely, it's going to happen. And honestly, we'll see what it looks like, but I definitely could see myself going to see this. Anyway, that is everything I picked up this week, minus the Youngblood number 1, and I'll get that probably by the next week. Next week's New Comic Book Day video, we'll probably have that one on there, so I can show you what Jim Rugg's autograph looks like on there. They look really good. Like I said, I just hope they took care of the copies. That always scares me a little bit, especially when you put as much money into each of those copies. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But guys, that's it. Thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed today's video, definitely give me a like, slap that subscribe, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my episodes that come out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. And definitely let me know what you think about these books. And if you've ever met Jim Rugg in person, I'd love to know that too. Or have watched his YouTube channel, anything. Just leave me that comment. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you for the next episode. Until then, remember, every comic has a story.